Hello guys, welcome to my channel Learntech. This is Sandeep Cole here. Today's topic which we will see is service level management from BMC. So basically this service level management is an application which is used across multiple applications. We use it in change or anywhere where we have to manage the services. So service level management basically helps us in managing the service contract. So if you are into the industry, you know that there's just when a vendor provides a service to the customer, there is a service contract. Now, how to measure that service contract? It is done through that service level agreements. So we have an agreement between an vendor and customer, and then we have service level targets with which we measure that SLA, or with which we measure the service, the level of service which is being provided to the customer. So in this application, we will see how BMC Remedy accommodates it, how it helps in building service contracts, and then how it helps in building the service level targets, and how they are used in an application. So we will take an example with incident management application, and then we will see. Okay, so let's start here. So today's video we will see SLM. What we will do, we will go to the SLM management application. As we had just a brief overview of SLM, let me explain it further. That SLM application is basically to measure the service targets or the services which are provided by vendor to the customer. So normally in BMC Remedy, we'll not go into the business sense, but we will see the technical part of it, how it is configured in BMC Remedy and how it is used in BMC Remedy. So now, to first of all, to create any service, we have to go to service level management. So from here we can navigate to this console. It will take you to service level management, and there in the service level management there are two things. One is service level agreements and one is service targets. So service level agreements are basically the agreements which are between a vendor and a customer. So these are the actual contracts. So for example, an vendor is providing a service to the customer. So then in that sense, a vendor has certain legal obligations, or he has certain terms and conditions on which he has to work with the customer. So these terms and conditions are part of that contract, and as this vendor is providing certain services to the customer, then he has to define his the level of or the level of support or level of maintenance he will provide to the customer. For example, Microsoft Office, if my company as a vendor is implementing or selling MS Office to the to the customers, then I can have a support team who is basically looking into the issues or support issues which are raised by my customer. Then there is an agreement between me and my customer for the service which I provide them. So this service is here is this MS Office or any other application which I am basically giving to the customer. So we have a different level of support. Now, how we measure this support? So to measure this support, we use SLM. Now initially we have an agreement between me and my customer that okay, with this is what the level of services will be, and then we define a contract. Then this is measured with service level targets. So first of all, we will build a service level target, then we will see how it can be attached with an agreement. Now let me first of all create a service target. So service targets are basically tickets which are directly service targets are the service level SLAs which are directly attached with the tickets. So we will define them here, and then once we define them, then they can be attached with the service level agreement, and then we can measure the service or that particular service which is provided to the customer. Now, for example, this SLA, we take it this as an example of email service. So I am providing, let's suppose, an email service to my customer, and then I want to measure that. So let me create an SLA for that. Okay. So let me say email service. So this is my email service SLA. Let me give it a generic name. Then I will say it will. Okay, now applies to means with which application we are using it. This is just a pure technical term with which application we are using it. So I am using it with incident, so I'll select here incident. If you are using it with some other application, you can use it. Then goal type. Now goal type, as I have selected incident, it can be a resolution or response. Now what is resolution and response? These are both same SLAs. One is like when I have responded. For example, when a ticket is created, it goes into the assigned state. Initially, it is not assigned to anyone. Then, support team within which it is assigned, there will be a support manager. He takes the ticket, he assigns it to some individual. So the moment it is assigned to an individual, your response SLA is met. So the response SLA, the role and responsibility of a response SLA is to measure the earliest response which this ticket should get, or which this particular service should get. So then we define the response SLA, or to measure that we define the response SLA. So here I will say initially I'll response time. This is I am in generally lesser than the resolution time. So again, it depends on the priority of the ticket. So here now to figure out with which tickets I need to define the SLAs, I have to define terms and conditions. These are basically the criterias with which my SLA will be attached with the ticket. So I'll select here the company, Calibro services. Here also I'll select Calibro services, and now my SLA is based on the operational categories. So here I will select software, and here I can select, let's suppose, installation of a software. Okay, or that using that particular software. Okay, I'll select this install. Or what I can do, I can create my own category here, and then that also I can define. So let me use this category, and apart from that, I can also define different types of categories. Here I can define priority, I can define incident type, or what type of incident this is. Then I can also define the assignee, the owner. So I have different classifications and different terms and conditions which I can define. So I will say yes. Okay, now I have defined this as one of the SLAs. So here, now I'll go to the next. Now here I'll define the time. So this is a response SLA. Ideally, let me say it's 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, somebody should attach a ticket. Now this business schedule here I can define my business time entity. We know that we have already seen a video for business time segment. So this is where it will be used. So I had created a business time segment, working hours for ABC. So I'll select here. Then my SLA will work as per the business hours. So for example, this company's business hours is from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. So this SLA which I am defining, it will only work for between this time. If the time is exceeding this business hours, it will not calculate that. Okay. So let me go back to the next. Now I have to define when this SLA will start. So ideally, when this response SLA, it will start when the ticket is set to status assigned. So I will define the status here as is equal to, or I can say assigned here. Now here it checks this field value. If it is incorrect, it will not give you, if let's suppose I am doing this. So you can see I'm getting an error. Okay, because it is validating the field values. So it is assigned. Okay, now I'll copy this. Now stop means when this SLA should stop. So this SLA will stop when the ticket will go in progress. That means somebody has already responded to my ticket, or it is already assigned to an individual who is working on the ticket. Okay, now SLA, there is we also need to exclude a certain part, that is when the ticket will be in pending. So if suppose I need something from a third party, I need something from some other team, I can put this ticket in pending. That means I'm not working on the ticket, it is already, it's in a pending state, so my SLA will stop. Okay, so I have to just say exclude pending. Now we have measurement options like set warning at 50%. So this means at 50% you will receive a notification or a message that your SLA has already passed if the SLA is not, or if anybody has not responded to this ticket. Now let me go to next. Now next comes the milestones. So here for any SLA you can define different type of milestones and the actions which should be taken for those milestones. For example, if I click here add, so here there are predefined, milestones like incident 50%, 75, 70. So if I say 50%, so when the 50% of SLA is met, this milestone will trigger. And here I can define my own custom new milestone. Like what time, maybe I needed 80%, I can do that. I needed 40%, I can do that. So here I will say 50%. I'm not creating any new. I'll just use the default out of the box templates, which is like they have already defined quite a number of templates which we can use. Now based on this, what action I need to take, I have to define it here. So what it will do, when the 50% of this particular SLA is met, I can trigger some action. Okay, that means that if somebody is not responding to that ticket in, let's suppose, 7.5 minutes, then this SLA will can do this. It can notify assignee, it can notify assignee or group manager. These are the defined ones. And I can also define a custom application where I can say send an alert or an email action, and I can define an email address to somebody. I can also run a push field action, set field action. So I will say currently notify assignee. You can explore it more when you will can use this, and then I will say finish. So when I clicked on finish button, so it has started. It will ask me whether I need to build the rules for this SLA, because internally it creates some filters, it creates some rules for this SLA. So I will say yes. Okay, so this is my email service SLA for the installation of a that particular service. So now it is building the rules. So this was my response SLA for the email service. Similarly, we will build a resolution SLA. So that the only difference between resolution SLA and response SLA is that one is for the response of the ticket, the another one is the resolution of the ticket. You can say there is already an SLA, email service request, and it is already being created. So what I will do, let me create another one. So here I will mention this as email. I'm just giving a generic name. You can define your own, naming conventions and then define it as per your convenience. So it's a resolution SLA. Okay. Sorry, I went into the agreements, not this one. Then okay. I just need to exit this. Sorry, I went to the agreement part. So here I will say service targets. I'll create new. Now here I will say email service SLA resolution. Then again applies to, it's the same thing. Okay, this concept is same. Incident, I'm just not just explaining it. Incident, this is the only difference is this, it will be a resolution time. So here I will define the criteria or the condition on which this SLA should trigger. So I will say Calibro services. Now it will any SLAs which are defined on these conditions will trigger. Okay, so I will say software, I will say install here. Okay, then I will save it. The remaining conditions are also same. So here I need to define hours or minutes. Let's suppose this is 4 hours. Okay, then business criterias, I can define it here. I'm selecting working for my busy company business schedule, which I have created in my earlier videos. If anybody wants to see what is the business schedule, what is a business entity, he can check the link in the descriptions and then can go through that video. Okay, so now I'll go next. Again, starts when. So this again, this will start when the ticket is assigned. Okay, and it will stop when the ticket is resolved. Okay, and I again need to exclude something. So here again exclusion will be pending. Okay, so the remaining details are same. The only thing here is I will not add any milestones here. I have already explained this to you. So it is the same thing for the triggering the milestone. I will finish it. Okay, now it will again ask me if I want to build the rules. I will say yes. Okay, now it is building the rules. It is also creating this SLA, building the rules. We'll go back to the main SLM console and we can see our service level targets. So the only thing we have to keep in mind here is that our SLAs should be here in this state, built successfully. If it is still building, it will say here inbuilt or sorry, here it will say inbuilt or in another status, but currently it is our SLA is already built. Okay, so these are my SLAs: email service resolution response, and this is resolution. Now I can go and check it, but normally what happens, I define the service targets, then it is attached with a email service agreement. So this is the main agreement which we define with customer. We can use service level agreements individually as an OLAs, we call it this operational level agreements between the different departments, and also we can define it as an actual contract, email service contract. Suppose this is an email service contract, expiration is, it depends again on the contract. It is ideally 1 month before the date. The notification date should be before this, so it should be September. Then compliance target I can define, this one I will say, but here I need to define the compliance is basically like when you are measuring any SLAs. So for a company, so they will say they have to agree on a particular number or percentage for the SLAs, that your compliances are you are compliant to your services, and when it is at risk, then you can your compliances are at risk. This definition is done. This is basically a part of the contract also. So now here what I can do now to measure this service level agreement, I will attach my two SLAs which I have created. So let me search with my title. So here I created this and this. Okay, so I will say relate selected. Now both these SLAs will be related with this agreement, and then it will be measured. This particular agreement will be measured based on these SLAs. Now review period penalties. This is again, companies have a contract. They basically provide rewards or they provide penalties based on what the agreement or what is actually happening in the system. If you are breaching your SLAs, then you will definitely get penalties. But if you are you are compliant to your SLAs, or you are exceeding your SLAs, basically for example your SLA contract is that you need to provide at least 90% of the service, but you are providing 95% of the service, then you will get rewards. It's again a contract thing. We will not define it here, but you can explore it. Milestones is again the same, what we have checked, milestones and actions. Then here we have the actual contracts. So we can define the contracts in the system and then we can relate it here. But we will not do any of this. This is just for you to explore. I will save it. Our main aim is to see the SLAs, and then to how these SLAs are related with incidents or tickets. So that we will see. Now let's save this. This contract is saved, and my SLAs are also attached with it. Now what I will do, I will close this console. So it will go back to the main console, and here I will create an, okay, I'm already there in the incident console. Okay, just a minute. What I will do, I'll create a new incident and see where these SLAs are attached. Okay, let me give a test summary. Let me say company, customer. I can say I'll select my user. You can select any customer you want to select. Okay, so this is Alan Brook. Then impact, urgency. Then most important thing is this criteria. So I need to select a request software and install. Okay, then assign group I can define help desk support, and I will save this. If I have given all the required fields, it will save the ticket, and it will also attach the SLAs. But if there is anything which is missing, then it will give me errors. Okay, now I can see the ticket is created. So here is the SLM status. I can click on this button, and it will open up those. Okay, now you can see here my SLAs which I have created. There is already one SLA which was defined for that status, so it is already there. But my SLAs which I have created are also there. You know that we have also already this one response SLA, and here we have a milestone for this, and then you can see the resolution SLA. We haven't defined any milestone, so it is there. Now you can see here the SLA status from here, and then you can check. And based on this SLA, you will be able to see how the system works, and then how it is basically the SLAs are made. Now if I put my ticket in pending state, the SLAs will stop. This is it from my side. This was about the SLM, how it works, and how it basically functions in incident management. With other application also it works in the same fashion. I hope you have understood SLAs and you can explore it more from your side. Thank you.